Today, good friends, we are going to have a conversation about the E word. No, not the election. No, not elephants. Why would you think elephants? No, the E word I'm talking about is earthquake. Now, I get that earthquakes are a really scary topic for a lot of people. I mean, let's face it, there was even a very special episode of Full House about them. But the reality people in Japan live with every day is that earthquakes can happen pretty much anytime, anywhere. The country is a hotbed of seismic activity. In the last 7 days alone, there have been 8 earthquakes. In the last month, nearly 40. And in the last year, over 400. Now, not all these earthquakes are big, terrible earthquakes. Some of them are small, some of them are medium-sized, and most of them do no damage. In fact, people kind of just go on with their day after they happen. I'll never forget my first earthquake. My first night in Tokyo, I was laying in bed on a futon on Chris's floor in his apartment, and all of a sudden I felt the shaking go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And okay, I know that sounds really suggestive. Back and forth, and I get up and I go, okay, I get it, I'm snoring, I'll stop snoring. One small problem though. Chris wasn't the one shaking my bed back and forth. He was still sleeping. This was an earthquake. And so I rode it out for about 20 to 30 seconds when finally the rumbling stopped, the ground stopped rolling, and everything just stayed nice and still. I pulled up the earthquake app I had on my phone later on and took a look, and it was a magnitude 5.5 earthquake, with the epicenter not that far away from where we were, but still a considerable distance. To be honest, I wasn't scared, even though I had never experienced an earthquake before in my life. See, living in a landlocked part of Canada, we just don't get them around here. But then I started to do some research about earthquakes in Japan. That magnitude 5.5 quake I experienced was actually pretty common. In fact, we were out and about in Tokyo later in the day and everyone was walking around like no earthquake had rustled them out of bed. Now, I know some friends and family have said, gee, aren't you concerned about these? Aren't you concerned about the big one? And it's true. You don't have to look that far back in our history to find damaging and destructive earthquakes, which we've all seen on the news, whether it's 1989 in San Francisco Bay Area, 1994 in Los Angeles, 1995 in Kobe, or the most recent one, 2011, in the Sendai region of Japan. All of these were horrible, terrible disasters that caused death and destruction and uprooted people's lives. But in Japan, they've taken events like the 1995 earthquake in Kobe and have tried to learn from them. See, since 1981, Japan has had laws on the books with building codes that require new buildings to be built to withstand at least a magnitude 7 earthquake. In Kobe in 1995, what they found out was that even though the buildings were being constructed, there wasn't a whole lot of inspection going on, and there wasn't a whole lot of public information going on either, which meant people just didn't know what to do when the ground started to rumble. And so in the last 20 years, inspections have been toughened up, and there have been massive public information campaigns in Japan to make sure people know exactly how to respond when there's a major earthquake. It's for these reasons that I'm actually not that concerned about experiencing an earthquake in Japan. If it's under magnitude 7, the building I'm in I know will be safe. If it's over a magnitude 7, I know that people will be educated and skilled to be able to deal with the situation. So what does it mean for all of you back here watching my Gonjon adventure? Be a savvy media consumer. When I was going back to do some research for this piece, I actually pulled up news articles about that earthquake I experienced on my first night in Japan, that magnitude 5.5, and I had to laugh at some of the headlines. Can I make note that not even a dish fell out of the cupboard at our place? And if you've ever been curious about going to a country like Japan, but things like earthquakes have scared you off, don't let that stand in your way. The country is well equipped to deal with them, and it is part of daily life. Hey, thanks so much for checking out the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel because there will be many more great videos in the future. And go to gonjon.com for blog posts, podcasts, and so much more on the trip.